Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Business Over Breakfast. My name is Ben Barber.
And I'm Lori Chitari with
Hi,
the Ben. It's so good to see you. Every time we see each other, I feel like it's been ages, and it's only been at least 7 days, 1 week.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
How have you been? It was a big week for you.
yeah. We were very happy to Visual Thrive was asked to collaborate with the Commerce RI and so that they could promote the site. So what's better than that? It was pretty cool. So Scott kind of jumped in on the tech side, and we really are supporting and hoping to continue to support local businesses in the different communities. One of the things we're thinking about is doing like our little Rhode Island Village days. So like Westerly Village and Patuxent Village and like Thayer Street and Federal Hill. So that's something that we're going to be working on next month. But that's part of a kick-ass plan, right? Because we have a really great guest today.
Yes, why don't you tell people who our guest today is?
Yeah, so today I am so happy to share with you an amazing coach and dear friend of mine. I was going to do a formal introduction, but what I'm going to do today is just read you what I wrote for Elaine Blais, the author of 3 Secrets to a Kick-Ass Life. And I wrote on the back of her book, Elaine is the most positive person I know, and that is the truth. Her program, 3 Secrets to a Kick-Ass Life, is a guide for any woman who wants to find their voice, step into their own journey of amazement. As my coach, I turn to Elaine when I need clarity and the confidence to move forward with what I want in my life. In this book, Elaine gifts us with stories of her journey, her pitfalls, joys, doubts, successes. She dives deep and she shares some great tools with you so that you can create your own kick-ass life. So let's please bring on Elaine Blais and hear about how to create a kick-ass life.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wow. Thank you, Lori.
Elaine, I'm so happy to. I'm really happy to introduce you to Ben, and I know that we often Ben and I talk a lot about like coaching and life in general. And I said to him, "You're really going to enjoy this conversation." So I'm going to let Ben start the show today.
Hi, Elaine. Nice to meet you officially. And we'll pretend like the couple minutes before the show didn't happen. So how long have you been a life coach?
So I have been life coaching now for just about 5 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did you get started in this?
Probably a long story, a life story. But I think the biggest thing that got me started was I outgrew what I was doing. I was in corporate environment for about 25 years in lots of different leadership positions. And one of the things that I really came to notice most, and partly this is my own journey, is how many women I worked with, I had, on teams that I developed who just don't believe in themselves. They have very low self-confidence. And for me, I could only coach them or take them so far, mentoring them in the corporate system, if you will. Not that that's a bad place to be, but I just outgrew that. I knew I had bigger work to do, and I walked away from a very well-paying career, stepped off the sidewalk to figure out how to make an income for myself doing this work. So it's been a really great adventure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go ahead.
I think that there are so many people that get stuck in a corporate role and then think that, is that all there is? Is this all we have? And so part of what we're doing on Business Over Breakfast, as the program was started to talk to different people working in different industries to really understand how they were operating during this pandemic. And so we've seen some shifts to the positive, some shifts to the negative. So how would you say your coaching practice has changed or shifted during the pandemic?
Yeah, I think it's shifted in a number of ways. So I was doing quite a bit of group work. I love to run workshops, women's retreats, and that sort of thing. And so I did a lot of that face-to-face, local yoga studios, out in the public. That doesn't actually, I would even do them here. I have a studio in my home and I would have small workshops here. And that went away very quickly. So I'm in the process of building that clientele again online. And I think that there was a lot of fear, right? Even people who are ready to take action and would like coaching became really afraid. A lot of people were losing their jobs or at least being furloughed for a while and not sure what was going to happen for them. I
think in the midst of change, it's such an immediate brain reaction, right? So
Yeah.
like the minute someone gets involved in a change cycle, their brain is saying like, who's with me? Who's out? What's happening? Who's on my side? Who can I trust? Who can I not trust? And so it creates like a lot of angst. And so if someone's thinking about changing their life, they're thinking about changing their life in the middle of just change being forced upon everyone at the same time. I think there was a day when Ben and I started the show where he was like, I don't know how many millions of people are experiencing this exact change at exactly the same time in the world. It's just so huge. So do you have like a story that you can share with us about, just something like around that subject with a client or a group, anything interesting that kind of sticks out, like you'll remember 5 years down the road, like, oh my God, remember when that happened?
Gosh, I don't know that I have an exact story in that way. I've met with a number of people over the last several months women who are waiting. They're waiting for something to happen to change their lives. And personally, I think this is the thing. COVID and all of the things that have changed are the things that are helping us, if we want to take the time, reflect on what's really important and say, where do I want to go from here? I've experienced a couple of clients who are having actually physical sort of responses in their body to waiting, to being afraid. And that's a lot of the work right now, I think, for coaches, is helping people understand that everything that you feel is a result of what you think about a circumstance. And to really begin to take personal responsibility for that and not allow your circumstances to push you through life, but instead find your center and allow that to kind of pull you into what you want next. I think everybody has the potential to do that. I'm no different than anyone else, right? Yeah. We all have that same potential within us. It's learning to love ourselves enough and trust ourselves enough to have faith that life is supporting us through this journey we're on, through the adventure of life.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if the sound is me.
The sound is Elaine. I just keep muting her whenever we talk.
Okay.
It's not a big deal.
Sorry.
That's okay.
She talks a lot.
That's okay.
So let's get onto this book. Okay. So just like you, I've always wanted to write a book, and I did feel like the pandemic was something that said to me, okay, the whole world just stopped. You're in your house. You wanted to write a book, like, go fucking do it. It's like, come on, it's time, because there's never a good time for anything. But so you and I have talked for many, many years about the 3 secrets to a kick-ass life. I've taken your program. I call you when I'm in distress. And I know we help each other, but you really are like such a wonderful, thoughtful, comprehensive, creative coach. And this program, even for me as a coach as well, was enlightening. There were some things that came up for me during this that really hit the nail on the head. And so let's start with where can people just get the book? So if they say, I just want to do this by myself, I'm going to do the program, I want to do it in my house and how do they get the book?
So they can go to my website, which is just elaineblais.com, and click on the link that says books, or they can go to amazon.com and just look it up in the little search box. 3 Secrets to a Kick-Ass Life. It's available both in paperback and in Kindle format.
Nice. I was so happy to get my paperback because I'm going to get it signed. And so let's talk about the 3 secrets. You want to divulge the 3 secrets? Can we have an overview?
Sure, absolutely. So very simply put, the 3 secrets are desire, disrupt, and dare. So as I went through my own evolution, expansion, if you will, kind of graduated out of corporate, I had done a lot of inner work myself, a lot of studies, working with coaches, and I found 3 things for me that really felt like foundational pieces to what I'd experienced. And the first one is to be really clear about what you desire. Not what you think you should want, not what the world tells you you should be, but what do you truly want? And that takes some introspection and work. And it's fun. It can be really fun and playful to do that when you give yourself permission. The second thing is to disrupt your BS. So we all have what I call a box of BS, right? We have beliefs and stories. You can call it bullshit. You can call it whatever you want. But it's all of those limiting things we tell ourselves about who we think we are or who we've been told we are, what we think life is supposed to be. And so really it's about curiosity. Don't believe anything you think and question everything, because there's an other side to those beliefs. And a lot of times they've served us for most of our lives, right? They were protective mechanisms when we were younger, or somehow they served us. And we have stuff that we can learn from them and move beyond them. So disrupting your BS. And the last one, and probably my favorite thing to do with my clients, is to dare to act as if. So who are you? What do you truly want without the BS? And how do you right now show up as that version of yourself? Because we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are, what we become. So we have to become the person that we envision ourselves to be in order to live that life. It's always up to us. So it's really as much, I call it personal development or transformation, but it's about self-leadership, about personal responsibility for your choices and really choosing what supports the life you want to live.
And I would guess that never changes. Like it doesn't, you don't get to a point where all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm in my kick-ass life. Good, I'm done. You know,
I wrote something about that in a blog recently. You know, when we're kids, people always ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's sort of like growing up is like the be all and end all. But we continue to change and grow, and it's great. And it's okay to want to do new and different things in your life. You don't have to be a lawyer and never anything else, or, you know, so it's really the process of continual expansion in your life.
Ben, did you experience that? You know, you were talking about when you went to school for performance, and then, you know, like you can kind of see, like, what do you see in your own life that kind of changes like that? You graduate into something new.
Yeah, I mean, I think life is just a constant evolution, and so there's always things that you know. I was filling out a questionnaire for a newspaper article last night, and it had the question, what did you want to be when you grew up? And I was like, well, I wanted to be an actor, writer, and producer. And I, after high school, went to New York, did the acting thing, and it also had it also had a question: what was the best advice that you ever received? And that was from my favorite acting teacher that I had in New York, who said, know who you are, accept it, and then use it. And I think that those were the two things. So he also was the person that said to me, you like to be in charge of things. Like, go be a director. Go home, be a director. Like, this is an actor factory that's meant to make commercial actors and Broadway, Broadway chorus members. Go home and create your own thing. Like, that will make you happy. You're great, but like, go home. Like, he wasn't telling me I'm horrible. Go home.
Yeah.
He was like, just go home. This isn't you. This isn't what you want to do. Go home. So I went home and I continued my community theater, and then that sort of, like, I created a children's theater that was doing really well. It was doing well financially. Like, everything was nice, but I wanted to produce more, and that wasn't the thing that was driving me anymore. So then I started to do podcasts with life coaches, and things with small businesses, and then and it just sort of evolved. And I was saying the other day that I thought that it was really funny. This year started with a live stream for me, um, way before we were doing any of this stuff because of the pandemic. Just on January 1st, me and my two roommates did a Facebook Live little brunch, and we had like a New Year's Day brunch, and then a little concert that Dave did during it, and it was fun. And like, we were doing that, and we had done a couple of live streams, mainly for the 5-year-old in the house, um, and then so I think it's like knowing where you are, feeling confident in that, and then taking the opportunity to move with the change, I think, is what I've seen in my own life.
Yeah. And that's where you have to do the internal work.
Yeah. What I loved about what you just shared, Ben, is your willingness to go and do what you felt compelled to do, even if you learn that that's not exactly what you wanted to do, right? It's not being afraid to try and take the risk, because if it's not the exact thing, it will somehow lead you to what's next. You'll at least, oh, that's not it. I'm going here instead. But I think most people are just afraid to try.
Mm-hmm.
It's the desire, disrupt, dare, all in the crevices of everything that we do.
We are doing it all the time. We're doing that all the time. Perhaps not consciously. And when we begin to do it consciously, we begin to create a result in our life that we are much happier with.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so your last point, right? The dare was to dare to act as if, and something that I always told, I started teaching a school around here, asked me to teach some improv classes to like middle school kids a couple years ago for a couple semesters. And the one thing that I had just read a book called Improv Wisdom, which I suggest everybody get, because it's not even a book for actors, it's about life. And it was, it was about acting, right? So like, in acting, we get intimidated by like taking on, but it's all just about like the truth of moments. And I said to all of these kids over and over again, you've all acted your entire lives. And like, at the time I had like a 2 or 3-year-old at home with me. And I was like, when he wants a cookie, he acts more hungry than he is so that the adults give him a cookie. And when he wants to be a Power Ranger, he's a Power Ranger. Like, that's it. He just goes. We do that all the time. As an adult, if I want Lori to like me, I'm going to smile a little bit more when I talk to her. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a little bounce in my step. If you're going after like a future partner, right? You're gonna mimic their behavior a little bit. You're gonna do these things subconsciously. So there's really no difference between that and acting as if you are able to the reason that you're a life coach, the reason that Lori was a coach is because you decided that you were, and then you went and did it. So no matter what you want to do, all you have to do is act as if you are that thing, because you are. There's nothing stopping any of us. Another thing that I wrote in that questionnaire is my favorite piece of advice to give is just do it and have fun, because no one else knows what they're doing either.
Well, and I think, if you start acting, you're going to know that this either feels good or it doesn't.
Yes.
And so I can act as if I'm anybody, but it's not going to feel good inside if I'm not being myself. And you have to figure that. That's the internal, right?
Well, that's that thing that acting teacher told me, right? Know who you are, accept it, and use it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, me as a producer who's working with congressmen and governors and stuff, that is still going to be me in a t-shirt and a hoodie, because that's who I am. You know what I mean? I didn't put on a suit and go out and slick my hair, and you know what I mean?
Elaine, you're going to have to raise your hand when you
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Right now. Right now.
But
yeah, that's a really great point. And Lori too, is if it's truly what you're called to do, what you desire to do, and you're not people pleasing, you're not doing this to please someone else, you'll know by the way it feels. You will come from a place of authenticity, and instead of taking on some persona to please the world, now you're taking on your own true identity to be yourself.
Let's commit to that. So as we end our show, let's commit to getting closer or being more aware of when we're acting as our authentic beings. And for me, that can get a little crazy. But I think, Elaine and Ben, you know me at this point, but I think that this is I'm going to be the same in a suit or in a t-shirt, no matter where I am, no matter what I do, I'm going to be the same person. And for me, that authenticity is so super important, because my physical being won't survive any other way. But
nobody will. Really, nobody will.
Yeah. For me, it's anxiety. So that's how it shows up.
And that being said, I produced the election night thing for the Rhode Island Democratic Party. I put on a shirt and a button-up shirt and tie.
Right.
You know what I mean? You do the things that you need to do when you need to do them.
Right.
But I was myself the whole time. I mean,
we're not quite Johnny Depp level. Yeah.
But Johnny Depp, and this is the same principle. It's not about acting. That's where I came from, and that's where the thread we were talking about.
When I say Johnny Depp, I think he sits in interviews, he looks like crap, he smokes cigarettes the whole time, and you're just okay, we would not do that.
No, you wouldn't.
You could.
But when he needs to be something, he is, and that's anybody. You just are that thing. So I love that's my favorite of the. So it's desire. Is that
desire? What do you desire? How do you disrupt your BS and dare to be the person that deep down you are?
I love it. And you can get the book, which is 3 ways to. Can you hold up the book again?
3 secrets to a kick-ass life, empowering women to live into their dreams.
I don't have a book where I'd hold it up to.
Well, and I say Elaine works with mostly women, but the stories are probably for everybody.
Thanks, Lori.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Check out Elaine's website, everybody. And thank you so much, Elaine. I know you got to run, so have a great day.
I do.
Have a
beautiful day.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome.
That's wonderful.
She really is the most positive person. And even in my review on the back of her book, I have the word most like in all caps because really when I'm like in a bind, I always call her and she's going to say like, well, just what do you want to do? Just do it. It's the hardest part is to just do what we want to do in our heart. So yeah, desire,
Absolutely.
disrupt, and dare.
I love it. If you want to disrupt the big corporate systems this holiday season, shop local. Help a small business in Rhode Island. Everybody needs it right now. Especially with the 2-week pause going on right now. If you are looking for online retailers, if you are looking for places that deliver, restaurants that are delivering and doing curbside, if you're looking for any of those things, check out shoplocalrhodeisland.com.
Yeah,
Lori?
it's been such a great process creating this because we look at every listing and we contact every single company and we make sure that their phone number is correct and their website is correct and they have the most robust listing that they can have on the site so that they can sell what they have. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's food or cutting boards or coffee cups or anything, but the creativity that we've seen from businesses in Rhode Island it's really over the top. It's quite impressive. We also have a Facebook group, shoplocalrhodeisland.com on Facebook, that allows businesses to meet each other and talk to each other and share successes. And we've seen such a great community coming together so far that I'm hoping it continues because this is definitely something that I love. I love helping. I love changing the world for the better, for community, for support, for love, for everything. It's so important. It's really, from my perspective, this is the reason we both do what we do, right? We have these skills and we're using our skills to better the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you want to check out more of Lori, go to visualthrive.com.
And how's your website, Ben?
I literally still have it. It's like 99% done. And I'm sure that if the web designer is watching this, they're going to kill me because I haven't sent them like the 2 things that they need to finish the site yet.
Oh man,
I know.
Send it over. We'll just finish it for you.
I'm just like, no, it's done. It's literally like they need like me to reword something, and I just haven't done it yet. I know.
I can brainstorm the content if you want some help on that, but
it's like 6 words. It's like 6 words. I just haven't done it.
Time to disrupt.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lori.
All right, Ben. I will see you at noon.
Yes. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. Wear a mask.
Yes.
Save a job. Save a life. Save a business. Thank you.